a special treat.
Okay.
But right now we're going to college football. Colorado put on a show, and like most shows, highs and lows. Shedeur had 445 yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 of them caught by Travis Hunter, who also had 3 tackles on the other side of the ball. Buffalo survived a short Hail Mary. Here's Coach Prime.
Some of you got upset that we got a W. Some of you, I'm really mad that we didn't get the L. So God bless you all. You have to wait again till next week.
Okay, Brew, are you buying Buffalo stock?
I will say this, and I don't know, I didn't see the whole press conference, but if Deion just said that unsolicited, you don't, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You know, like you don't.
Gonna do that.
It's just, I love Deion's persona and stuff, but now if somebody said something that was negative, I get it. But just to come out of the blue and be like, I know some of y'all want us to lose, because you're going to be losing pretty soon. So you don't need to put that out there. But they're not a contender for the Big 12 and certainly not a contender to make the playoffs. If they probably are about a 6-win team, and I think that'll be solid. 7 would be like, oh my gosh, wow, great season. But about a 6-win team. But I will say this. Even though it was an FCS team and they only won by a touchdown or whatever, that was a good win because North Dakota State has beaten. They're 9-5 against FBS teams. They beat 13th ranked Iowa once a few years ago.
Yeah, no, they're good.
I mean, you would have liked it to have been more dominant because again, it's a Division I AA team. But that's a good one, and they have put off upsets. I give them credit for making whatever adjustments they did at halftime because they held them to 6 points in the second half versus 20 in the first half. So Prime is right in that I'm not happy because of the outcome, because it was a close game, but we got the win. But yeah, no, they might get their comeuppance as soon as next week.
Yeah,
when they play
against
Nebraska.
Mini Mahomes.
Yeah,
Dylan Raiola, number 2 player in the country coming out of high school.
Mini Mahomes.
Well, he's the one that looked like Mahomes. The Mahomes helped train that has the.
He wears the Oakley.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying any stock.
Me neither.
None. Look, this is a 3-man team.
That's right.
Yes.
Who's the third? Oh, Jimmy Horn.
Jimmy Horn.
Jr. Yeah.
He should not be left out.
Yeah,
he should not.
Yeah,
be.
you're right.
This is a 3 individual team. And for me, they're not any. They didn't make any I shouldn't say any improvement.
It's the same issues as last year.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Like, the offensive line's not great. You can't tackle. But Shedeur and Travis and Jimmy are great. Okay, I saw this story.
You were expecting, they were glaring weaknesses on the defensive side, albeit you got one of the best talented individuals in all college football playing both ways in Travis Hunter. But you get no pressure on the quarterback. You don't dominate up front at all. You're poor everywhere else. After your front line, you're poor. Poor Shiloh. I mean, he's living on the last name. I hate to do this, but I have to be honest.
Right.
Offensively, he just built this team around his son. He gave him talent so his son can thrive. I truly don't believe that it's about winning. And yesterday, I didn't think until I watched. It was like, okay, that's his angle.
Yeah.
I got 2 Heisman guys. Yeah. If I can get one of these guys to win the Heisman, that's my marketing point.
And you know when it definitely wasn't about winning? Can I do it, Wilds?
Okay, so quick sidebar for the audience here. Nick has let's call it a content Achilles heel.
It's a passion.
Yeah, a passion for clock management. And while I know it's important, it's also ratings poison. But I never want to squash a man's dream, so we decided to meet in the middle here. I'm going to give you old school timer. You want 40 seconds?
I want the amount of time of a play clock, and this will be for the NFL or college football. When I have to talk clock management, I get 40 seconds to do it. You tell me when the play clock begins.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. After I thought a borderline pass interference call, but whatever. The underthrown passes you get them, I hate it.
Yep.
So minute 38. North Dakota State has 1 timeout. The play clock is 40 seconds. You take 3 deep knees, unless you're trying to do a crystal ball from Miami last year and blow a game, and the game's over. Instead, Shedeur throws a fade route, and all of a sudden you're playing defense and there's a Hail Mary. That's not serious. And if it's on prime or
Time.
Can I add to this though?
Please.
Not if it's about logistics. If it's about storylines, yes.
No, because in his post-game presser, he talks about that.
He was like, Shedeur was trying to get this kid.
Yeah, he's
some
such a
touches.
nice kid. That's why I'm like, it can't be about winning then. Because if you're allowing a player to, whether it's your son or not, if you're allowing a player to jeopardize a sure win,
it's over.
a
The game's
sure
over.
win to be nice to include another
But
receiver
did you take that literally?
Oh yes.
You did.
Yes.
You didn't think it was like just like kind of a.
No.
No, that's
No.
I thought they and
No.
But isn't the call from the sidelines like it's knees now?
But
It looked like they did not. They had no
they
idea
were not.
about
It was not going to be
Yeah.
knees. Now maybe
It
they
looked
called
like
a
it
running
didn't
play.
cross
It
their
should have
mind.
been knees though. That's my point. Like I agree with you. That's why I'm putting it on the coach as well that they didn't do it. Just very quick before we get to Travis on this, I agree with Brew. I said before yesterday I thought North Dakota State could win because of a lot of what Brew said. What is so concerning to me about Colorado is, even if North Dakota has like older players, guys that know how to win, can do things like that, Colorado's big people should have been such better athletes. And the fact that they
Dominating the
weren't
trenches,
against an
right.
FCS team
Right.
means
Concerning.
what is Nebraska going to look
Exactly.
like? Like, what are any of these other teams, what are the trench battles going to look like? And that's why I think Colorado, despite the fact that Shedeur's awesome and Travis Hunter is a transcendent player.
More on Travis Hunter right now. His Heisman odds jumped with his dazzling performance from plus 5,000 to plus 1,500. Still a ways back
They were
from Oregon's
plus 2,000 this morning. They're
Dylan
moving
Gabriel.
forward.
Hey, who's favorite. Still, LeBron, Tyreek, and Pat Surtain all impressed, all weighed in. So we put Tyreek up there because he's on offense. Surtain's on defense. LeBron plays basketball. There you go. So we'll start with Greg. Do you think Travis can win the Heisman if Colorado isn't ranked or has a poor season?
I do. I do believe he can. He's going to have to make more plays on defense, though, because
They won't throw him the ball. They won't throw over there.
exactly. So he's going to have to be put in position to where he finds a way to make more plays, impact plays on both sides of the ball. Because right now, it's looking like when he's going to get plays, it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball. I do believe he changes the game for them. Like, if he's not out there, I don't know if they win because of how impactful
They
he
don't
is.
win yesterday.
No,
No
like,
question.
he's clearly their best talented player. No disrespect to Jimmy Horn Jr., because I think he's a fantastic receiver. He's fast, can get open, obviously has rapport with Shedeur. But Travis Hunter, he is the real deal. And I think they're going to play him so much. We're going to see the usage of him on both sides of the ball, and that's how he'll be able to do
The
it.
key is both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. Like that's as great as he is, that's the only reason he's in the
Correct.
Heisman discussion, because he's going both ways. Now, there's only been one guy ever to win the Heisman with a losing record.
You
the
covered
legendary Paul
Yeah.
Hornick. I didn't come- They were
1956.
2-8. It was 1956.
2-8, I would have
2-8.
raised my hand. I could've fought out.
They can't go 2-8. Like, I think they got to win at least 5 games. But it's all about him going both ways. Like, it's not quite the same because we've like never seen Shohei Ohtani since Babe Ruth. But it's similar because you just don't see this. And I don't think, Greg, he has to have like a ton of interceptions or anything like that on the defensive end. Just if he's viewed as, they won't even throw at him. Kind of like Deion was. Now, Deion had a lot of interceptions, but Deion was like locked down. We're going to the other side of the field. If Hunter is viewed like that, where he's only got 3 or 4 interceptions, but it's because they never throw his way, and he's putting up numbers offensively, which he will. Yesterday they had, I think, 59 yards rushing.
Yeah.
They averaged like 2.5 yards per carry against an FCS team. They're going to have to throw the ball. You said about Deion, he wants Shedeur to maybe get drafted number 1 or whatever. So Shedeur going to be throwing it. He's going to throw for 400 yards a lot of games.
Yeah.
So Travis is going to put up the big numbers, and he'll be playing defense too, so he's got a good chance.
Go ahead, Wiles.
I had a question like the Ohtani effect that you mentioned. He came off the field for 2 plays.
That's what's remarkable.
He got hurt last year, but it was that kind of late hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was questionable, dirty.
Yep.
Is he like Ohtani, who we view as kind of like a superstar athlete, but also because he was allowed to do it? It's not the idea that nobody can do it. It was because domestically we were telling pitchers they could no longer hit.
I think for this kid, so I went up and read. You guys know I'm a big Rivals guy.
Oh yeah.
Because he carries on the legacy of being the #1 overall player in the nation, like the greats Trevor Lawrence, Peyton Manning, some others. Jadeveon Clowney, long, nice NFL career. This kid at his junior year of high school had 1,400 yards receiving and 8 interceptions. He was playing, so he has been, his conditioning since seemingly he was 13 years old is, I play every snap of these football games. Maybe other kids could do it if from that young of an age they were conditioned that way. But I don't think anybody else was like this. Like this is,
it's unreal.
It's unbelievable. And so so that's the reason I think he